Constitutional care with a homeopath is the deepest health investigation there is. When you sit with a classical homeopath for a constitutional intake, it's over an hour. We do a really deep dive. We investigate all levels of your experience, your physical, mental, emotional symptoms. Often we talk about childhood. We really want to understand your whole health history, family history. We want to understand what life is like for you, what your experience is, what your core energetic patterns are. And what I mean by your core energetic patterns, the way you experience life, the lens through which you view everything, your sensitivities, your susceptibilities. So you meet with the homeopath for, this hour and a half, 2-hour appointment. And like I said, it's a really deep dive. We're investigating really who you are at a deep level. And it's a deeper conversation and a more intricate conversation than most people have ever had, because the homeopath wants to understand at a level that you've likely never been understood before. Most people cry during the intake just because it's able to touch this place in us that we don't acknowledge or investigate very often. And when we do, just that process of feeling seen and heard at this level is healing in and of itself. It's often said that the intake is the first dose of the remedy. The homeopath needs to understand your entire constellation of symptoms, see how they fit together, see the patterns that emerge when we're in this case-taking, information gathering process. We are there as an impartial observer. We are there just to really understand you, understand the patterns, again, the susceptibilities, the sensitivities that you have embodied and held your whole life, sometimes that have been passed down through generations. Our job is not to judge, assess, diagnose, treat. We are there just to understand that energetic pattern. And then what we do is we match it with a constitutional remedy. So in homeopathy, we have like 5,000 remedies that could be potential constitutional remedies. And it's all based on your symptoms, health history, everything that you've experienced, but also the deeper aspects of what makes you who you are. What are you sensitive to? What are you susceptible to? What is your personality like? What are your tendencies? Who are you really deep inside? And what has informed your life experience and your existence up to this point? So it's a really comprehensive way of understanding you and then matching you with that constitutional remedy. The constitutional remedy acts as a catalyst to stimulate a healing response in our system. So instead of suppressing symptoms, instead of managing body systems, instead of having a chemical effect or a hormonal effect in the body, the constitutional remedy is able to stimulate a response on the energetic plane, the energetic level, which is the level that's the precursor to all the hormonal and chemical reactions happening in your body. It's the level that we store. It's the level on which we carry epigenetic trauma patterns that are passed down through generations. And believe it or not, these vibrational patterns, these trauma patterns, these epigenetic frequencies that we carry are, in fact, the root cause of all of the susceptibilities that we hold that lead to all the diseases we have, both mental, emotional, and physical. So constitutional care with a homeopath is the deepest healing available because it's able to address this level of the energetic pattern. I always say try homeopathy first because it lessens the need for all of these other modalities that address more superficial levels of us. Other modalities are needed. Sure, I see a Chinese medicine doctor. I see a chiropractor. I love taking supplements to support my system, but the need for all of them is less because I take a constitutional remedy periodically that helps stimulate my system to be the healthiest and most stable it can be, and helps me always find equilibrium and balance when I go through stressful periods of life. So establishing constitutional care with a classical homeopath and getting your one constitutional remedy is the very best investment in health that you can make.